Good morning, YouTube. This is day 21, Toaster House in Pie Town. Here's my leftover pie. Come to this town and eat pie. It is delicious. There's a reason why it's called Pie Town. But this is the hiker sanctuary.
Oh,
there's
hey
the Jesus. We cooked some elk sausage and veggies and potatoes this morning. It's delicious on this gigantic cast iron skillet. But yeah, I mean, hikers from all over the world come through here. As you can see, there's a map where people have visited from everywhere, even the Middle East there, like mostly Jerusalem, Lebanon. Some Japanese folks, some Korean folks, lots of Americans and Canadians. But yeah, it's, we met the owner of said establishment yesterday. Her name is Nita. She was born in Hawaii, but she keeps this house open for free for hikers. And hikers leave behind supplies they don't need and food they don't need or don't want to carry. And it's up for grabs for people who need it, which is cool because we could trade off food that you're tired of for food that you want to try out or whatever. There's loaner clothing all in here in case you want to do some laundry, take a shower, which is always nice. It's a little dark in this video. Loaner clothing, there's wood burning stove. These are all the packages waiting for hikers that are coming in. There's tons of reference materials and books. Fascinating stuff. She has great taste in books. She really is like one of the sweetest ladies I've ever met. She's had this place open since the early 80s. She's raised all 5 of her kids in this house. And it's quite awesome. I mean, all this stuff, most of this stuff was probably here when they moved out. And I mean, here's one of the bedrooms where people, slept in. A couple of those hikers are at the diner right now eating some delicious food. Little bathroom actions, nothing special. Better than nothing, hell yeah. Here's another room. This is where I stayed. But yeah, I mean, this place is awesome. It's got so much history and so much fun to be had here. We had tons of fun out here the past couple nights. Here's a little plaque about Brett Malin. Let you read that for a few seconds there. You can just pause it. But he's a biker who tragically passed away. But this house, let me get out here. This is a giant cairn marking the trail. So I guess she was out here, one morning cooking breakfast. She saw a backpacker in like 1982 or 3 or something like that, and I was like, "Hey, come on in and get some food." And it just started from there. So it's called the Toaster House for a reason. There's like dozens of toasters strapped all over the place to the fence, which is hilarious. So I might find some at some yard sales and mail them out here just to add to the collection. Maybe inscribe some stuff on them. I mean, this place is legendary. Like, all the hikers that come up this trail stay here if they're smart. I mean, it's a wonderful place to meet other people from everywhere and just talk and laugh and have a great time. There's the edge of the property there. Little greenhouse room. It's kind of neglected. I mean, she lives outside of town. Nita lives outside of town at her little ranch. So she comes here once a week just to check on people, which is cool. But look at this place. It's awesome. It's rustic. There's wild onions growing in the yard that we cooked for breakfast. There's a rain gauge. It rained for like 10 minutes yesterday. It's the first time I've seen rain in months. But Milkshake and I zeroed here. There's firewood. It's not cold enough for that. There's a little truck just hanging out. It's got supplies and stuff in it. There's seating area out here to get some sun. These are alligator junipers. These are unique to this entire area of New Mexico because the bark looks like alligator skin, and we've only seen this for the past maybe 60 miles or so, and around this area. It's the only place in the world, I guess, it grows, and I did not know that, which is fascinating. Little grill action. There's a fire van pretty much, depending on how windy it is. Little fire pit. This is all burnables. There's a abandoned little trailer. Oh, there's the kittens. I guess there's a feral cat in here that had some kittens. And they're just hanging out. I don't know where that little guy went. But all kinds of antiques laying around. It's cool because like there's kind of like an honor system here. You just kind of respect the property. You know, we cleaned up after ourselves. You know, we help out with chores if need be. And here's the payphone. When's the last time you seen one of those? Yes. How you doing? Yes, I'd like all the drugs. Yes, thank you. Anyway, look at how scruffy I am. I'm not shaving for as long as I can. I don't know how long it's going to take to bother me, but a while. But this is a really cool place. It's very special. There's a little shed. Old log post and sod with lap joints. What else we got? There's an old windmill back there. Still works. Who knows if it's pumping water or not. There's an old chicken coop. There's a couple of outhouses that still work for when the bathroom is occupado inside. Other storage. I mean, there's clotheslines. Washed our clothes and hung them out, and they smell spring fresh. A little water tank. Maybe we can, you know, somebody will turn that into a pool this summer. Got the refrigerator. When we got here, there was a bunch of beer and elk meat in there. We ate the hell out of that. It was delicious.
Kind of shitty, actually.
This is where the magic happens. These are all hiker shoes that people have left here. When they get all destroyed, people just tie them up when they get their packages here. It's kind of like a installation art piece. It's really cool. But yes, the pie though. This is a pear, ginger, almond, cranberry pie. And it's phenomenal. I ate the other half yesterday at the restaurant. I'll save the other half for this morning before we take off again on the trail. Nice little wood burning stove for whatever. Maybe they make some bread out here. There's also a bunch of seashells. Bike washing station. So that, you know, there's a lot of mountain bikers that do these trails as well and go cross country. There's people from all over the world that do that as well. They come here with their mountain bikes. This is to clean them up and repair them. It's got all kinds of tools. Any tool that you would need for your bike. You know, Allen keys, metric, standard, wrenches, and you know, air pump, of course. More toasters. But yeah, I mean, this place is, I was blown away. I mean, there's an upstairs loft area too, where people can sleep. I don't know if they're still up there. I don't want to bother them, but it's really cool. And yeah, so that's the Pie Town update. Evidently, this town got its name in the 20s, I believe. The ranchers and the cowboys would come through driving cattle. All pretty huge portion of the country was all cattle drive at that time. So they'd come through for coffee and food, and then they had a lot of dried fruit, I guess, and they would make pie. And then more and more people would stop, and more, and then they filed for their post office legitimacy to get a post office, because there's so many people coming through. They needed to transport mail and deliver mail, so I guess they filed with the post office back then, and the post office rejected the name of Pie Town because it wasn't dignified enough, but evidently they got their way, because the pie is, I'm not even kidding, like, I heard all the hype on the way here as being the best pie in the country, and safe to say, yes. I mean, so if you're passing through this part of New Mexico, just stop in at Gathering Place or the Pioneer. Clever, right? Pioneer, and have some pie, because you'll never have anything like it. I don't know how they do it, but the hospitality is extremely warm. Met a local, he's not local, he's from Kentucky, but there's a veteran out here with his wife, retired. He's about my age. It turns out we were the same unit or when we were in Iraq. He was just there a little earlier than me, and he's a talented musician and pretty funny guy. So we had a great time partying with them. But that's about it for Pie Town here. We're gonna take off, continue down the road towards Grants, I believe. Our first water stop is about 15 miles out, which isn't bad at all, but it's a really nice, cool, breezy day, so it should be a cakewalk. It's road walking, which sucks, but it's not 50 miles, so why not? But all the detail in this place, it really is like a living art installation. It's constantly changing. The hikers bring stuff and make additions and little trinkets here and there. It's really one of the most unique places I've ever seen. And I mean, this town only has 60 people. There's 60 people in this town. That's it. I don't even think they have police. I think the county sheriff comes through here once in a while, but I mean, it's not like there's crime or anything here. Everyone here is pretty friendly and laid back and carrying pistols, so that definitely deters crime. So think about that when these little teenagers are screaming about take the guns away. Their opinion is invalid as far as I'm concerned, because they don't know what a hard day's work is, and they've never been challenged or had their life challenged, so they don't know. So just ignore them and focus on natural rights. But anyway, just wanted to share some of this beautiful place with YouTube here. So yeah, I mean, look up Pie Town, look up the history, come through, visit on a road trip or whatever. It's totally worth it. All right, I'm gonna go eat my pie. Until next time.